So in the last session, I guess we were talking about the functions in Python, right? So today we'll be talking about there are some things that were left in the functions, like the args and kwargs. These are the things that we'll look into. Basically, the thing is, we are going to talk about the few of the basic the things that have been left. So as of now, what we have gone through is some functions. How do we create functions? When do we create functions? All of these we have already gone through, right? We have already seen some basic examples as well as the functions, and you'll be able to solve, right? If I give you a scenario, you'll be able to solve. You'll be able to write a functions, right? So, for example, I give myself a scenario that you have to create a function that will return odd even list, right? So I have created it. So if I give you similar scenario, like easy ones, not too hard, then you should also be able to write the function for that as well, right? Using Python programming itself. Yeah, great. So so basically two things are left: this args and kwargs in Python, and modules and packages and error exception handling. So these three things we'll be looking into. And if you guys want, I will give you some extra material as well. You can simply just go through in order to understand them. Additionally, if you have time, let's try to understand this particular topic, the args and kwargs, the argumented and keyworded argument. And for that, let's have some example. And with that help of that example, you will be able to understand that. Okay. So let's say this is my func. My function is a function. And here, what I will do is, so sum A, comma B, comma C, and this summation I will return. So I'm returning this summation over here. So what I'm doing is I'm creating a tuple of these three inputs, and then I'm summing them together with the sum inbuilt function, right? And then just doing this. Okay. Let's say if I call this function. So let's try to analyze it. Let's try to understand the problem here that we are facing, and then we will see what could we do to solve this problem. Okay. So let's say let's pass these numbers here. Let's say I'm passing 10, 20, 30. So when I'm passing 10, 20, 10, 20, 30, I'm getting the correct answer, right? So for all these values, so for A, I'm passing 10, for B, I'm passing 20, for C, I'm passing 30, right? Let's say if I do not pass one value. So simply you can see I'm passing for A and B, I'm not passing for C, right? And if you run it, the same error you will also get. So you see, my function is missing one required positional argument C. So in here, I'm missing the place for C. I'm not passing the value for C, right? And that's why I'm getting there. You see here, in this case, the error I'm getting is that I'm not passing one extra argument, right? One argument that must be positional argument. So here I'm not passing these variables by their name, I'm passing by their value, by their position, right? So the first position will be for A, second position will be for B, third position will be for C, right? This sequence are in the order, right? If I'm not passing the third one only two, so it will go to the first two, right? So this is called, positional arguments. The same thing, if I pass like this, let's say A is equals to this, C is equals to this, B is equals to this. Like this. The same thing I can pass like this. So here I'm passing B is equals to 10, C is equals to 20, and A is equals to 30. Right. And then I'm summing them together. So I'm getting the same value here. Right. So this is called, so in this case, you can also do the same thing. Right. You can also do, you can make it 20. You can make it 30, we can make it 10, right? So we see the same value here I'm passing as well, like for A 20, for B 30, and for C 10. Here as well for B it is 10, right? So it should be 10 here and 20 here and 30 here. Right. So you see 30 for A, 10 for B, and 20 for C. So 10 for B, 20 for C, and 30 for A. These are the values that I'm passing. But here I'm passing two different ways and both are giving me the correct answer. Now, why these both are giving correct answer? So here, this is called positional argument here that I'm passing. This is called positional argument and this is called keyworded arguments. So whatever value that I'm passing using the keyword, right? Whatever the function name in here that has been defined, right? So you see here, A, what is the value of should be for A, for B, for C? I'm passing here by using these keywords A, B, C, right? So these are the two ways of passing the keywords, passing the arguments actually. Okay. Now, let's say if I do this, if I increase one of these here or decrease here, so I'm going to get the error like this, missing one required argument for A, right? Here I'm missing the requirement argument for A. So Deepak says, is there any way to give two argument in the functions which need three arguments? That's what I'm looking into. Actually, which need three arguments, I'm not sure what you say when you say need two arguments, but let's say we have a concept of arguments, learn keyworded arguments, args and kwargs. So the first thing is, if you use asterisk before the argument, for example, let's say the same thing I'm writing, and let's say I can give the default values, right? For example, for A, I'm giving 0. Sorry. A0, B0, C0, right? And not only this, let's have D as well, right? Let's say here there are 4 values, right? And now I'm also adding D into this one. Now it will have my func and I'm passing the values. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 4 values I'm passing. I'm doing the summation 10, right? Now, if I, let's say, summation 10, if I remove one of these, it is still working. I'm getting 6. If I remove one of this, it is still working. If I remove one of these, it is still working. Why is it working? Because here I have given the default values for them. So if I do not pass value over here for some argument, so it will not, it will not give an error. It will not throw an error. It will use the default values here that you have passed while function definition. So you have to write the default values while defining the function itself, right? So these are the default values in the function. Here, once again, you do the same way. Like either you are passing the arguments by the keyworded arguments or the positional argument. Okay. Here, let's say if I pass more than 4 here, since there are only 4, if I pass more than 4, then what will happen? You see, it says my function takes 0 to 4 positional argument, but 5 given. So it only takes 4 arguments, but I have given 5. Now the problem here, by providing this way, you can pass less number of arguments, but not more. So there is a next thing that you need to understand, that is the arguments and keyworded argument. Whenever you use hash, your function will be able to take as many as arguments you want. The arbitrary number of arguments, like sometimes less, sometimes more, or whatever, whenever you need how many, it will take. Okay. If you are using the asterisk in the name of argument. So for example, let's say my func itself is there. And I'm using a star. Oh, sorry, star A. Asterisk A. So if I'm using asterisk before this name of argument here, and I'm simply using this, see what happens. If I call this function by 1, 2, I'm getting summation as 3. Let's pass more. I'm getting 6. Let's pass more. I'm getting 11. See, no matter how many I pass, it will just keep giving me the answer without any error, right? So the reason why it is able to give me answer without any error is because it can hold arbitrary number of arguments. It can hold only one argument as well. It can hold 5 arguments as well. It can hold 100 arguments as well, or 1,000 arguments as well. Whatever you want, it can hold. But how? By using this asterisk, right? If you just pass this asterisk before the name of the argument, argument will be capable of doing this. But let's understand the underlying thing. Right. So to understand the underlying thing, let's print this A here. And instead of A, it could be anything. Like it could be X as well. It could be Y as well. Anything. Let's print A and see what happens. See what is being printed. Basically, this A is nothing but, when you use asterisk, A is nothing but a tuple. So it creates a tuple. You can also check the type of A as well. So basically, it creates a tuple and then do the rest of the thing. Okay. So it is creating a tuple, and then whatever, how many numbers, if you are passing 1 argument or 2 argument or 3 arguments, so it will take everything in this. Right. So let's say, so only the length of tuple will change. So here this tuple has only 3 elements. Now this tuple has only 4 elements, and so on and so forth. Okay. So that's this one. The other way of doing this is, so this is what happens, right? So if you use asterisk before this, so this will be able to use this particular thing. And this is here I am used some function like, but basically the functionality is that it will be able to take all those arguments, right? The keyword, the positional argument. It will only take positional argument. It cannot take keyworded argument. Okay. You cannot pass anything by the name here. Let's say like this. See, positional argument follows the keyword. Let's say right. So it says got an unexpected keyworded argument C, because there is nowhere I have defined C in here. So that's why even if I use A, it will say got an unexpected keyworded argument A, because I have never defined A as a keyworded argument. This is the symbol of the positional argument. It will only take positional argument. Like this is asterisk A. Okay, it's not A. First thing, it will only take positional argument. Okay, now let's understand, if you pass 2 asterisk before it, what will happen? Right. So let's not return something. Let's print only and try to understand what happens. So this, now you do not pass any positional argument with this. You will have to pass the keyworded argument, and whatever keyworded argument you will pass, it will accept that. Right. So for example, let's say my func, and let's say I'm passing x is equals to 90, y is equals to 89, and so only 2. See, what is this creating? It is creating a dictionary where X is the key and 90 is the value, Y is the key and 89 is the value. Similarly, let's have more arguments. Okay, let's have more number of arguments. Z is equals to, or let's say 21. So now it just increase one of the value in the dictionary. That's it, right? And it will only accept the keyworded argument. It will not accept the it will not accept the positional argument. Correct. Okay. So yeah, so here if you pass positional argument, it will not accept that. Let's try doing this and see. So it says my func take 0 positional argument, but 3 were given. So it does not take any positional argument. All of them will be control Z. All of them will be keyworded argument. Okay. Right. Now the way you want to utilize it, you can utilize it. Right. So it gives you a free hand no matter what you can pass. Let's say you can pass Z first as well. You can pass Z later as well. No issues. But in this case, if you are using it, so you need to pass it first position only, right? So if you're asking, let's say if you're making it X, then you need to use it in the first position. Otherwise, the value of X will change, right? In this case, no matter where you pass, let's say X, Y, Z, 3 variables are here. And let's say I'm also using 3 variables here as well. And let's say I'm using simply not print A, it will be X comma Y comma Z. Right. The first value will go to X, second value will go to Y, third value will go to Z. Right. And if I'm returning X comma Y comma Z, see what will happen. It is returning 1, 2, 3. If I'm returning, let's say 11. Right. So it is returning 11, 2, 3. Right. But I need always, I cannot pass 11. If I'm passing 11, so the 11 will be the value for the other thing. Here, if I'm passing 11, if I'm passing 11, so now 11 will be value for Y. It will not be value for Z. It will not be value for X. But in here, let's say if I'm returning, let's do not print, let's return A of. So how do you fetch elements from the dictionary? By using A of, right? So A of X comma A of Y comma A of Z. Anywhere if you do not understand, you just ask me, right? So you see here, if I pass, let's say for Z, what would be the value? 3. For X, what would be the value? 1. For Y, it would be 2. Okay. For Z, it would be 3. Okay. Now you see, no matter where I pass, right, it will always give me the same order because I'm fetching the value that way. Here I'm fetching like A of X will always give me the value of X only, no matter where I pass it, no matter I pass it first or I pass it later. And this very much relaxes us, right? You will see later on in the functions in the modules that this has a very good approach. This has easified our task a lot. Okay. So these are the works of these two things. Basically, asterisk uses dictionary, single asterisk uses, double asterisk uses dictionary, and single asterisk uses tuple to store all the values in a sequence. Okay. This one uses dictionary. So dictionary has more potentials, right? You can just fetch any word without their just by their key, not by their positions or relative position or index. Right. So now once again, this is one of the example that I'm giving you. There can be more examples as well, but right now I cannot give you another example. Just understand that this uses dictionary, and one of the very favorite thing about dictionary is no matter where you pass, it will take only that element if you're using it this way, right? Here you need to take care of the position that you're passing, since it is positional argument, right? And keyworded argument will take the value from anywhere, no issues. So that's the difference. You can combine these two as well, but you have to make sure that, let's say A, comma, asterisk, asterisk, B, right? Is only for dictionary purpose. No, that's a wrong question, Malay. The question is, it uses dictionary inside it. It is not for dictionary purpose. Okay? It uses
Okay, sir.
dictionary inside it to achieve its purpose. Okay? This way, using double asterisk, uses dictionary for its purpose. And its purpose is just to, so that they can give options to the user that they can pass the values anywhere, right? As long as they know the name of the argument, they can pass the value anywhere. You can change the order. Here you cannot change the order because this uses tuple. All right. And talking about this one, you can only use in this way. First single hash and then double hash. You cannot do wrong. I mean, you cannot do first double hash and then single hash. Sorry, not hash, single asterisk. You can only use single asterisk and double asterisk later. You cannot use double asterisk first before than the single asterisk, right? You will get an error actually. So that's pretty much of it about args and kwargs, the arguments and keyworded arguments. If you have any question, you can ask here.